Hello everyone, here in my workshop today because this is probably the best place to talk about what I want to talk about today. And the tools you see behind me have taken a long time to acquire. Not all of them are mine. Let me show you. This 2-foot square was my father's, and he had that ever since I can remember. I have no idea when he bought it. This was his hammer. He carried that a lot. And I don't know if you can see how worn that is, but he used it a lot. We tend to think about tools and building things, right? Today we have all of the power tools we need. We have all of these CNC computer driven machines that will replicate exact, and I mean exact, copies of parts that we need. And that's a good thing because it takes so many. The problem is we have moved from craftsmanship into as long as you can stand in front of a machine and do a job, well, you're not really a craftsman, you're just producing one component. And I know that's terrible, and we need people to do that because today, look at how many people are in the world, how many people need tools to work with, how many people need items in their homes, how many people need parts for various things. But to say that someone who is on an assembly line and simply screws a screw in, to call them a craftsman is really a stretch of the imagination. They're a production line worker, and it's essential that they do this. Now, a couple of hundred years ago, a man named Stradivari made approximately, they believe, 960 violins. Of that, there are about 650, we think, still in existence. Not all of them are exactly alike. There's minute little details in there that show that they're handmade. Not every piece of wood is the same. Not everything is going to be exact. And people say, oh, it's a great achievement. It's a great achievement that he could build these the way he built them. And it is. It is. He was a craftsman. He was a craftsman. I think about the people who built pianos and harpsichords, who put that French polish on those grand pianos. They were true craftsmen. They didn't rely on the machines to do the work for them. Most of that stuff was built with very crude hand saws, chisels, hammers, those kind of things. But they were very, very intricate, extremely intricate. If we go back even farther, we can think about other things and other great building achievements of mankind. But what I want to ask you is, maybe I should say it this way, what is the greatest achievement when it comes to furniture? Give up? I'll tell you what I think it is. I think mankind's greatest achievement and greatest piece of furniture is the Ark of the Testimony, or the Ark of the Covenant, as some people call it. Think about that. I'm going to get my notes here because I need to read this. Moses was up on the mountain in Exodus 24. He gets the instructions for what these things are going to look like. And then in verse 31, there's a man named Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, from the tribe of Judah. He was selected. He was filled with the Spirit of God and given the skill, the ability, and knowledge in all kinds of craftsmanship. He was going to oversee everything that Moses had been told to build. He was going to be the one to oversee it. He was the master craftsman of all times. And he did it not by himself. Aholiab was a helper. He was his assistant. He was from the tribe of Dan. But there were others as well. They're not named, but they were given the skill. They were given the talent to work in these things. Some of them were going to be, excuse me, some of them were given the talent. Oh, that was terrible. I should have had a glass of water out here, but I don't. Some of them were given the talent to, build the forms that, or the molds, I should say, that the gold would be poured into when they would use the gold. Some of them were given the skills in sewing the curtains together, or looming the fabric for the tabernacle itself. All of these things went into this without any modern equipment, without any modern anything. They did this, and I don't want to say with very crude tools, because these people were given the skills. They probably made their own tools to do these things with. But think about that. What is the greatest piece of furniture that mankind has ever made? And it has to be, in my opinion, the Ark of the Testimony. What could be greater than that? Of course, later on, Solomon would say that mankind's greatest achievement, his greatest thing, is to basically do our duty. The end of Ecclesiastes 12 says that we are to fear God and obey his commandments. That is the whole duty of man. Mankind's overall greatest achievement is to serve our Creator, and it is to do the things he would have us do and live the way he designed us to live. But as far as what mankind has made, what mankind has built, our greatest achievement is a single piece of furniture. A single piece of furniture that represents the throne of our Creator on earth. I hope that was informative, and I hope that it brings you many, many blessings. I want to remind everyone that next week our family will be here, so I won't be doing a podcast or anything like that, but I will be back as soon as they, we're done playing with the grandkids, and then I'll get back to all of you. Until then, many, many blessings, everyone.